According to my estimation, sir, with that boy's probable strength, I'd bet he eked out a victory over them, although it may have been a costly one. I'd like to hope he managed to win. Although Deputy Kane did not know Nathan Hayfield's true strength, because he had yet to witness him in an actual fight, he could sense Nathan's spiritual energy whenever he interacted with him. Is that your final answer? Yes, sir. I'd wager that his personal strength should be around the 4th or 5th level of the apprentice stage. Despite Kane's own judgment that Nathan was a special fighter, he still saw Nathan as a child, and could not have possibly imagined that he was already a master-level warrior. Slam! Officer Willhelm slammed the arm of his chair as he burst into laughter. The man's eyes watered, and he shook his head as he tried to recompose himself in front of Kane and the other startled deputies who listened obediently. Oh, that's funny. Let me tell you this, Kane. You better keep being a Doom faction member. Your career as a gambler's going nowhere. Sir, what do you mean? What happened? Your boy Nathan did much more than eke out a victory. He absolutely dominated them. Not only did he cripple the sword arm of his direct adversary, but when a duke's son got involved, he used a single cut to push the kid out of his way, severely wounding him as well in the process. My report says it was over in a matter of seconds, and Nathan didn't even have a scratch on him. Now tell me again how he's an apprentice level 5. Ah! Kane's eyes widened in amazement. What? But how could this be? Even the other deputy officers were shocked. They began to frown and whisper together excitedly. And get this, the Duke's son was at least a level 6 or 7 apprentice and was sneak attacking him. Imagine that. This Hayfield boy has to be many times more powerful than that if he was to catch the boy sneaking behind him and deliver a single decisive blow like that. Although everyone in that room within the tower could easily achieve the same feat, they were all adult Doom faction officers, not mere 14-year-old spiritual warrior students. All Kane could do was shake his head with amazement as he tried to wrap his head around what Willhelm told him. I just can't believe it, sir. I knew young Nathan was a prodigy, but not like this. Wilhelm's face turned serious as he cracked his knuckles and stood up from his chair. Looks like this little kingdom of Calandria is about to produce a spiritual champion, a true maverick, the likes of which we've rarely seen before. From Nathan Hayfield's performance, I'd say his strength must at least be an apprentice level 9. Not a bad future disciple of the Doom faction, wouldn't you say? Kane grew serious as he slowly trailed Willhelm over toward the largest window in the room, its 3-sided panels overlooking the mountain beneath them. Over here, the floor itself was made of glass, so one could see just how far above the ground they were suspended. Yes, sir. I would say he'd make an excellent recruit in the future. Good. Now, I want to know everything I can about this boy. Have your informers look deeper into his background. What's the Hayfields' family story again? Yes, sir. The Hayfields are currently considered the weakest noble house in the fiefdom of Godric's land, though given the circumstances that seems likely to change. The noble house itself is an old one, dating back nearly 1,000 years to when it was once full of legendary warriors that brought glory to the clan, along with wealth and fame. Quite impressive indeed. Go on. The house's founder, the creator of the Dunshire Medicine Garden, and the one who won a challenge during the aristocracy examination all those many years ago, did so with the same broadsword that Nathan wields now. All the different branches of that founder's family died off slowly over the centuries until all that remained was Ulrich and his 2 children. And what of young Nathan's life in particular? What do we know about this unusual young man? As for Nathan, little is known about his early years. At most, he had the makings of a mediocre swordsman, but he always was known for training incredibly hard. 3 years ago now, he nearly lost his life in a duel with another noble's son. After that, his progress has flourished and shown no sign of stopping. And what do you imagine sparked such a change? I'm not certain, sir. Curious indeed. But, sir, I do know what drives him now. And what is that, Deputy Kane? His mother, sir. She was murdered before Nathan could even talk. The whereabouts of the killer are still largely unknown. Ah, yes. I remember this from one of your letters. The strange boot symbol you showed me. Nathan's convinced that it holds the key to finding his mother's murderer. I mentioned our library to him in passing, as you suggested, and I believe that's our best bet of convincing him to join us. Perhaps our scholars will be able to recognize the markings. Perhaps. So revenge is what drives this strange boy's need for spiritual power. How interesting. Suddenly, a female deputy officer approached and cleared her throat. Either way, Head Officer Willhelm, I suggest we look for ways to induct him into the faction as soon as possible. Talent such as his doesn't come around often, and we don't want to risk losing him to another faction. Our actions should be immediate if we want to secure his loyalty. A fascinating thought, Deputy Ragnar. What do you think, Deputy Kane? You know the boy better than any of us, after all. Personally, sir, I think it's best we avoid direct intervention for the time being. His family is embroiled in the political schemings of other lords at the moment. We should seek to remain impartial, as our sacred laws command us, unless, of course, the situation arises where we must step in. Oh, really now? I do love such trifling gossip. Tell me more of these political schemings. Deputy Officer Kane sighed. Well, sir, at the moment, House Hayfield is waiting to face the High House Raven in an aristocratic examination challenge. If we were to interfere now, we'd ruin House Hayfield's chances of winning the title and could be putting Nathan's family at risk. However, since this boy is of such high value to us, it would be wise to step in should the Duke's family or even the King's family get involved. Any master-level warrior sent to fight him should be intercepted. Clap! Distant Avalanche! Officer Willhelm clapped his hands together loudly with joy at the thought of Nathan's future. As he turned back from the windows to face his deputies, he failed to glimpse a massive avalanche he had inadvertently caused. Splendid plan. We shall do as you say, Deputy Kane. Force him to continue to prove himself, but step in when necessary. Can you make it back to Godricshall by the morning? Well, speak up, man. As Willhelm spoke, Kane's eyes were on the avalanche, and they only came back up to his master once he was sure no lives were threatened by it. Yes, sorry, certainly, sir. I'll take my leave at once. With that, Kane saluted his master and his fellow deputies before exiting the room. Kane couldn't help but smile at the thought of Nathan joining them. A genius like this kid comes around once only 100 years. What luck I get to nurture him. As Kane readied his horse for the journey home, he shook his head at the path down the mountain. It would now take twice as long now that the road was buried in freshly fallen avalanche snow.
Please subscribe to the Pocket FM YouTube channel and press the bell icon for instant notification. Check out our channel for more such exciting shows.